The 2026 Ford Edge is here, and while the midsize SUV market is packed with competition, this new Edge brings more to the table than you might expect. Ford didn't just slap on a facelift and call it a day. They've introduced a smarter, sharper, and more refined Edge that tries to push the boundaries of what a midsize crossover can be. And in this video, we're tearing it down, spec by spec, and giving you the raw verdict. Does it earn a spot in your garage, or should it burn? Let's start under the hood. The Edge continues with a base 2.0-litre EcoBoost inline 4, but it's been reworked for 2026. Now putting out a respectable 265 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, it's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Ford's tuning focuses more on efficiency and daily drivability than raw performance, but if you're stepping up to the ST line or the full ST trim, you'll find a 2.7-litre twin-turbo V6 that's been mildly revised to push 340 horsepower and 380 pound-feet of torque. All-wheel drive is standard on higher trims, and optional on the lower ones. On the road, the 2026 Edge feels planted. Steering has been tightened up compared to the outgoing model. It's still electric and a bit numb, but there's more weight to it now. Ford's continuously refining their suspension geometry, and it shows the Edge doesn't float or wallow, even in quick transitions. ST trims benefit from sport-tuned dampers and torque vectoring, making them surprisingly agile for a 2-ton SUV. It's not a Mustang Mach-E, but for a gasoline crossover, it holds its own. The fuel economy numbers are decent. With the 4-cylinder, you're looking at around 24 miles per gallon city and 31 highway, while the V6 brings that down slightly to about 20 city and 27 highway. No hybrid option this year. Ford is clearly keeping that distinction for the Escape and Explorer hybrids, or they're pushing customers toward the all-electric Mach-E if they want efficiency over engine rumble. Inside, things have been seriously elevated. The old Edge had started to feel dated, clunky interfaces, lots of plastic, and uninspired design. The 2026 model wipes that away with a wide, sweeping dashboard, minimal physical buttons, and a massive 15.5-inch vertically mounted touchscreen that runs Sync 5. Yes, vertical, similar to what we've seen in the Mustang Mach-E. It's fast, responsive, and supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto out of the box. Materials have been stepped up. Soft touch surfaces are everywhere, with contrast stitching even on mid-tier trims. The ST line brings some faux suede inserts and red stitching, while the full ST gets a mix of real leather and synthetic trim with sport seats that actually offer bolstering you'll appreciate in tight corners. The platinum trim is the one for those who want quiet luxury. Think real wood accents, ambient lighting, and a premium BO sound system. Rear seat comfort? Solid. The Edge has always offered decent rear legroom, and that continues here. Adults will find it comfortable, and the flat floor makes it a decent option for 3 passengers in the back. Cargo space sits at 39.2 cubic feet behind the second row, expanding to 73.4 with the seats folded. Not class-leading, but still plenty usable. The power liftgate is standard on most trims, and the hands-free feature works well. Ford didn't forget about tech and safety either. The 2026 Edge comes standard with the latest Copilot 362.0 suite. That means adaptive cruise control, lane centering, blind spot monitoring with cross-traffic alert, and pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking. Optional is the Blue Cruise semi-autonomous driving system, which is now in version 1.4 and works on more mapped highways across the US. It's not quite Tesla Autopilot or GM Super Cruise, but it's inching closer every year. One big change this year is the move away from physical climate knobs to full touch control. That's a controversial decision. While the touchscreen is smooth and intuitive, it still takes a few extra taps to do something as simple as adjust the fan speed. That's a usability hit in our book and something we've seen Ford slowly creeping toward across their lineup. Not a deal breaker, but worth noting. Trim levels remain familiar, say, SL, SD line, titanium, and street. The say is your value play, coming in around $39,000. It gives you the basics but lacks some of the luxury and tech touches that make the Edge shine. The SL adds convenience features and nicer materials. ST line adds sporty visuals without the full performance upgrades, while titanium is your luxury trim. The SD is the performance flagship, and it starts around $51,000. Fully loaded, it'll push close to $58,000. Not cheap, but it's in line with other premium two-row crossovers. Now, let's talk about how it drives in real-world terms. Around town, the Edge is comfortable, with a nicely insulated cabin and quick throttle response. It doesn't feel sluggish, even with the base engine. The V6 Street, though, is where the fun really starts. That turbo torque hits early and pulls cleanly to the red line. The exhaust note isn't aggressive, but it has enough growl to remind you that you're not in your average family crossover. What's also impressive is the brake feel. It's firm and progressive, especially on the street. No mushy pedal here, something that's often overlooked in crossovers. The paddle shifters, while not sports car grade, do respond reasonably quickly and give you more control when tackling twisty roads. One thing that's a bit of a letdown is the weight. Even with improvements to the chassis, the Edge still feels heavy, especially when pushed. It doesn't dance on corners the way a Mazda CX-70 might, nor does it have the on-road polish of a BMW X3. But it's not trying to be either. The Edge is more about confident, quiet performance, a middle ground between comfort and capability. We should also talk about competition. The Edge competes with the high-end Santa Fe, Toyota Venza, Nissan Murano, and even slightly more upscale entries like the Acura RDX or Lexus NX. What sets the Edge apart is its balance. It doesn't go all in on luxury or performance, but gives you a well-rounded experience. Hyundai may beat it on warranty and tech value, Toyota wins on hybrid efficiency, but the Edge has that sweet spot of American utility, real cargo space, and honest power under the hood. One potential concern? Longevity. Ford has been hit or miss with long-term reliability in recent years, especially with electronics. The new Sync 5 system seems stable, but it's still early. If you're someone who keeps a vehicle for 8–10 years, it's something to consider. On the plus side, service costs are generally lower than luxury brands, and parts availability for Ford is typically solid. So here's the real talk: should you buy the 2026 Ford Edge? If you're looking for a comfortable, capable, two-row SUV with solid performance and advanced tech, it absolutely deserves a test drive. It may not be flashy like a new F4 or as upscale as a German SUV, but it delivers where it counts: practicality, performance, and price. And if you're into tuning and personalization, the ST trim gives you a good base. Upgraded intakes, a new exhaust, AQ remaps. It's not a Mustang, but it's responsive enough to give you some fun weekend projects. Just don't expect track-ready dynamics out of the box. It's still a crossover, one that leans more toward build and burn. Final verdict? The 2026 Ford Edge is sharper, smarter, and more refined than ever. It's not revolutionary, but it doesn't need to be. It stays true to what made the Edge popular in the first place and elevates it just enough to stay relevant in an increasingly electrified and tech-obsessed world. If you want quiet capability with a dash of personality, the Edge has got it. Just don't go looking for soul-stirring drama or cutting-edge innovation. This SUV plays it safe, and sometimes, that's exactly what you want in your daily driver.